Hi lovelies, Sophia here, and today I wanted to talk to you about what to do with a reluctant birth partner. Now, as if you don't have enough things to think about when you're getting ready to have your baby, there's so much going on for you already, and then if you have a reluctant birth partner on top of that, it can make life really feel just that little bit more difficult and uptight when really it doesn't need to be. So what can you do if you have a reluctant birth partner? Well, first of all, congratulations if you've identified they're reluctant, because sometimes they're just making all the right noises, but you don't really feel like they are completely involved or they're completely committed to helping you to prepare for the birth or to being there for the birth itself. So one of the first signs is, of course, to recognise that they are reluctant. Secondly, take off your emotional armour. Now, what I mean by that is that when we sense that somebody is reluctant to support us, to join us, to be with us, when we might feel like we need them most, it can be very easy to go into, well, you should want to do this and you should want to do that, and what kind of a dad are you going to be anyway, or what kind of a mum are you going to be? So there's all these different thoughts that come up, and actually when we go in as though we're trying to have a battle, we just create a much bigger problem for ourselves. So if you take off the emotional armour and recognise that this doesn't have to become a battle of wills, it doesn't have to be your way or the highway, unless it does, and it doesn't have to be a situation where your partner is beaten up with all the things that they have done in the past, that you, for whatever reason, have decided now is a good time to tell them, and you didn't support me at this point, and you didn't support me at X, Y, Z, and so it all continues. So don't let this become a battleground for everything else in the past that is in some shape or form unresolved. Recognise that this is one issue that is really important to you right now, and one that you would really love to have their support with. So know before you start to have that conversation what it is you're intending to get out of the conversation. Do you want to know why they're reluctant? Do you want to know how you can support them to be there fully for you now, so that on the day they are completely there? Or are you at the point where you want to say to them, if you don't start to support me now, I don't want you there on the day? Know what it is that you're hoping to accomplish by having this conversation, and then go into the conversation still with an open mind. So you're not trying to railroad the conversation in one direction. You're just keen to know that you're not looking for a fight. You're not looking to be the victim or the martyr, or I'll just go and do it all on my own then, doesn't matter. If you're looking for your partner to fully support you, for your birth partner to really be there for you, sometimes you really need to tell them that that is what you are looking for. And just maybe they already see you in all of your strength, in all of your power, and they can't imagine what they can even do to support you. So we need to get really clear on what that is. So just before I joined you, I started to note down a few different things that could be making your partner feel reluctant. And again, go into this with an open mind so that you can find out what the triggers are for them. Perhaps they are fearful of what's going to happen. I've had many dads, many other mums come along to my hypnobirthing courses and say to me, but I just don't want to see my partner in pain or discomfort. So we're not saying there's definitely going to be pain. There's definitely going to be some sensations that are different to what you're used to in the past, even if you've already had a baby. And so it can be really difficult for somebody to be on the outside and to see you in a way that they're not used to seeing you. And for some men, that can be a really big trigger, particularly if you are often the strong one in the relationship, if you are very much independent and in control. The very thought for them to see you in a way that is not so much in control, or is a bit more vulnerable, or any sense of just not knowing what's going to happen next, it can be a really big deal for some men to take on. And I know from many of the dads in my hypnobirthing courses that even although they've said to start with, oh, I'm like, don't know what's going to happen, this is really quite scary, they have loved being the birth partner. They have felt so involved, so included. Gone are the days of dads having to sit in the corner and huff and puff and feel like they're not involved and feel jealous because the baby's getting all the attention and the baby's getting breastfed and they're just left to their own devices and not being involved. Doesn't have to be like that. But the dads that I have worked with have been so happy that they have been there. And the ones who felt helpless perhaps in a previous birth, they really understood and knew what was expected of them in the second birth. And I've equally had dads come and say to me, like, my wife, my girlfriend, my partner, just amazing. I had no idea she could do what she has just done. And they have a new level of awe and respect. So whilst you might be thinking your birth partner is going to see you as sweaty and out of control and just losing it on the day, it doesn't have to be like that when you do your birth prep. And also for your partner to be able to see you in that absolute strength, in your power. You're birthing their baby. It's hugely emotional. And don't forget that sometimes, even now, with all our kind of metrosexual and blurred lines of masculine and feminine, even now there can still be a sense for dads that they really want to feel strong. They really want to feel empowered. And they're a bit worried that they're not going to be able to do that on the day. And so if dads don't know what to do, think about it. They don't have a female body. They're not even aware of how it feels to go through your menstrual cycle every single month and to feel up and energized one minute, to feel a bit more tired the next minute. They're baffled by us. They're in absolute adoration and in awe, but they're also completely baffled at what females and the female body is capable of doing. So they need to know what they have to do on the day. And you're the person to educate them, along with any other antenatal ed that you can get your hands on, to really support you to understand what's going to happen and to help them to understand what they need to do. So there's multiple jobs that they can do on the day, from getting you snacks, from giving you soothing strokes massage, to being your advocates, to make sure that the birthing professionals around you know what's in your birth plan and what you would love to have happen. There's so many different options. So help yourself to get informed, to really understand what it is you're asking your birth partner to do, and help your birth partner to find the right resources for them also to get informed. Now, another amazing thing for your birth partner to do is to speak to other dads. Find out, or to other birth partners, whether they're female, find out what they did on the day and how that supported. And ask them, they can ask all the questions that they have been nervous or worked up about. Did you do anything wrong? Did your partner or wife hate it when you did X, Y, or Z? How did you feel? All the conversations that we can be too scared to investigate and to really explore. Difficult conversations can create the biggest transformation. So really allow yourself and your birth partner to start to unpack those conversations and to understand what's going on. Because when you go into birth feeling empowered, knowing that you have somebody strong by your side who is going to support you no matter what, can make a massive difference to how you feel. Not just to how you feel, but also to the length of your actual labour itself. If you are feeling supported, loved, calm, relaxed, then the chances are that you are increasing your chance of having a faster, more effective labour. And when I say fast, I don't mean out of control fast. I just mean you're shortening the length of your labour. You're also helping the oxytocin to get going around your body, the endorphins, nature's natural pain relievers. All of these things start to come when you feel supported and when you have somebody there looking out for you and looking out for your very best needs. If you have a reluctant birth partner on the day, somebody who's aimlessly scrolling through their phone, somebody who's tapping their fingers, tapping their feet, walking up and down the corridor, folding their arms, texting, it will drive you mad, and that is not what you deserve on the day that you are giving birth to a brand new life. So 100% speak to your birth partner, your chosen birth partner. Start to find out what it is that is worrying them or concerning them. Maybe they just don't feel like they're up to the job, and it's up to you now to recognise that and to help them to understand so that they can help you. And if you don't feel like it's your job to help them understand what you need, then get on a course, talk to other dads, talk to other people, and find out what the birth partner did that was truly amazing on the day. Now, it's also really important to talk to your birth partner about why it matters to you that they are there. Why does it matter? And maybe you're going to get a bit tearful about this. Let's face it, pregnancy causes a lot of emotions. Ones you can explain and ones you can't. But why is it really important to you that that specific person is there? Is that the baby's dad? Is that your civil partner? Is this a brand new life that you are creating together? Are you looking for that intimacy, that absolute bond with your baby? Do you just want them to see what it's like for you to give birth? Maybe you've given birth a couple of times before and they weren't there, and you want them to understand the process that you have gone through so that they're even more supportive afterwards. Why do you really want them there? Is it because lots of other people have had their birth partners there and you feel, oh, well, a birth partner's trendy, I need to have them there? Or do you just absolutely love them? You can't imagine anybody else better suited to the role of birth partner on the day. You would love to feel their hand in yours, to feel your face buried into their warm shoulder, to be able to link your arms around their neck when you're experiencing your surges. You'd trust them more than anybody else to help you pack your hospital bag or your birth bag or box. I'm doing a blog on that right now. And just know that you've got everything together, because you know that you can rely on them, because they are your rock. And if you need to go into a lovely big explanation so that they really get it, that you really love and adore them and you want them to be there for you because you trust them, then that's what you need to say. So they don't feel like you're just saying, you have to be there because I have to give birth and so you should have to do it too. Like, literally lay your heart out and explain to them why it matters. Explain to them, without being a martyr, without going into emotional blackmail, what it feels like to you when they are reluctant. How does that make you feel? Does it make you feel like they don't care about the baby, that they don't care about you, that the pregnancy isn't wanted, that they're not going to be there for you if they're not even there for you now? What does it feel like to you when they're not supporting you? And what does it feel like to you when they are 100% supporting them? And whatever you do, don't lose hope. Even the most reluctant birth partner at the start of a pregnancy can be the most phenomenal birth partner at the end of it. And it's also a bit like training for a marathon. You might start off going, oh, my legs hurt, my shoulders hurt, my arms hurt. Everything hurts when you start using muscles that you're not used to. And just maybe your partner is so used to you being the responsible one, the independent one, that they just don't know what they're doing. So talk to them, really talk to them, and create a cozy, good time for you to be able to talk about it. So let's not wait until they have sat down and stuck Star Wars on, or the Christmas episode of The Office, or whatever it is they want to watch. Don't wait for that to happen and for them to pop their beer and then go, oh, I need to talk to you about the birth partner thing. Make sure that you've got time together where it's protected time, not in a really formal, let's sit down at 3 o'clock and discuss you being a birth partner, but I'd really like to talk to you about the birth partner stuff this weekend. I'd really like to talk to you about my birth plan and how that might come together. When's a good time? Just make sure that you ring fence a bit of time so they're not spewing off about some unexpected bill that they've got. They're not going mad because they're just about to go out mountain biking and you've tried to grab them in the last minute and they're going to lose the best photo of the sunset or the sunrise. You know, make sure that you have got some proper time so that you can talk to them, because if this is important enough to you, for you even to be thinking about right now, it's definitely important enough to talk to them about. Now, also thinking about what is in your birth plan, maybe that is what's scaring them. I've had many dads start off on hypnobirthing courses say, oh no, we're not doing the home birthing. I do not want to do the home birthing. Has to be a hospital. And they have very much seen birth as a medical event. Now remember that as a woman, we naturally go and investigate things, don't we? We start thinking about the birth centre, we start thinking about a home birth, we start to have conversations with lots of different people about what birth can be like. And for your partner, maybe they're not doing that, because let's face it, they're not walking around with a big bump, so people don't necessarily see them and think, pregnancy, must talk to them about this. And so although they know you're pregnant, although they will be excited in some shape or form about your pregnancy, they're just not being exposed to as many of the conversations as you are. You are the person who's going to experience the sensations. You are the person who's going to give birth. And so it's natural that you will do a lot of the emotional lifting, or the emotional load as we call it, when it comes to understanding and getting to learn more about it. And so when you can help them to begin to take some responsibility for that, or to find a way to make it interesting to them. So one thing with hypnobirthing that often people come in and they think, oh, hypnobirthing, it's a bit wishy-washy really, isn't it? It's a bit woo-woo, it's a bit out there. You know, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about hypnobirthing? Exactly. So whatever that thought was, or whatever that myth was, if maybe you've already got rid of it. Know that men don't necessarily understand these things. It hasn't been on their radar. When they see a brand new baby somewhere else, they probably don't go off into the kitchen into a little huddle and have a hushed conversation of, what was the birth like? They just don't do it. Not nearly so much anyway. And so you've got all these different ideas in your mind, but they really just don't know. And so when we can start to explain to them the process of birth, how a woman's body is physically and physiologically designed to be able to give birth, all the different preparation that you can do so that you can have a calmer, more comfortable, more relaxed labour, all of these things support them. Also understanding that hypnobirthing is based on science. Science. What man doesn't understand science, or at least give some kind of credibility to science? So hypnobirthing is based on science. And so that can really help them to start to think about it. Also, and it doesn't just have to be hypnobirthing, but helping them to see other people who have been there as birth partners, who might be in some shape or form a bit of a role model for them. So think about famous footballers. When it comes to doing your visualization and your mental rehearsal of how you would love your birth to be, that's not pie in the sky either. Look at the top athletes. What Olympian does not see themselves running over that finishing line and being in their body, feeling the absolute rush of, oh my God, I did it. Like, who doesn't experience that? And they use that all of the time. And actually, worrying is a form of visualization. So if your partner is stressing out, is thinking of everything that's working against them, they're visualizing the very worst thing again and again and again. And it doesn't have to be like that. So in short, what am I saying when it comes to what to do with a reluctant birth partner? Take off your emotional armour. Don't make this conversation about everything else and how they never. Don't get so general. Keep the conversation to specific. Maybe you even want to choose a time they really supported you and they didn't see it as support, but to you it meant the world. So off with the emotional armour, keep the conversation specific. Pick a good time to have the conversation so you're not interrupting them in the middle of something else, and don't make too big a deal out of it, so you can still have a nice casual conversation that is perhaps paving the way for you to have further conversations going forward. Let your birth partner speak about why they are nervous or hesitant. You don't have to use the word reluctant. I'm sensing that you feel a little bit nervous about this, or gosh, I'm feeling a bit nervous. How do you feel about it? It's a really good way just to open the conversation. And guys, if you're watching this, hats off, because it's amazing that you are willing to do something about it and to really be there for your partner. And hopefully you'll get a few insights into what it feels like to be a woman whose partner is not fully behind them, or who actually is dumping in the sense that they need more from the relationship than they're able to give, even in that moment. So just recognizing all of the different signs of what's going on. Know what it is that is making your partner or you feel reluctant. Educate yourself. Start to really understand what birth partners do. Start to understand the process of birth, the physiology of birth, the science of birth. And start to see yourself as being strong and able to be there for your partner. Have all amazing conversations as to what you need as the birthing mum, what you're looking for from a birthing partner. And if your birthing partner is not sure that they can step up to that, find all the times that they have done something amazing for you and how that made you feel. Explain to your birth partner how it feels when they do support you and why it's really, really important to you that they are able to do that. And leave the conversation open. Even if your partner is still saying, no, 100% no, then you've got the option to say, okay, so I'm going to choose somebody else to be my birth partner, whether it's your mum, your sister, your brother, any kind of birth partner. You're looking for somebody who is going to be there for you on the day, who can hold that space and help you to feel calm, relaxed and protected. So if your birth partner is adamant right now that they are not the person for that job, then check with them, are you happy for me to ask so-and-so? Just so that they know that you're serious. You're not just going to have them tagging along behind you like a grumpy child, dragging blankie on the floor. So make sure that they know that you have other options and you will look at them, but really, really tell them how important it is to you that they are there for you on this day. And also recognise that your birthing partner can see you in a super, super strong way at the end of all this. And that could be just the most amazing cherry on top of your family cake, as it were. So really taking the time to create space, discuss, understand each other, and recognise it's a two-way process. Maybe you're the kind of woman who doesn't accept support too readily. You're the kind of woman who says, no, 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 leave it to me, I'll do it myself, or else it won't be done right. Are you the kind of person that is easy to support? That's a little thing for you to think about right now. So that's it for now, some of my top tips on what to do with a reluctant birth partner. Feel free to drop a comment down below and let me know what you thought, if you've got any other ideas, and also what your birth partner says, you know, how you come round a full circle, and as you go on to have your baby, just also letting us know what happened there and what an amazing birth partner they were, because even the most reluctant birth partner can go on to be the most amazing birth partner. Whatever you do, whatever you choose, sending you lots and lots of love. I can't wait to hear more. Bye bye for now.